Rebecca the Reseller. Thanks for joining me today for, I think this is my third THREDUP update. So very excited, going to try to bring it to you as quickly as I can. I only have a limited time to do videos today, as usual, and I'm getting ready to do a live show on YouTube. If you don't know, I haven't really mentioned it in a while. I have a membership here on YouTube, and if you go down below, there's a button called Join, and it takes you to a little page, and it will show you the membership benefits that you get for being a member here with Rebecca the Reseller. Has a little intro video where I explain it. And so there's just 2 levels right now, and you get a bunch of different perks, a lot of different behind the scenes things from me, a lot of different like access and discussions and kind of like smaller community things. And we do like polls and just a lot of different comments in the community tab that's just for members. And then we do once a month a live show where everybody can hop on and have a discussion. And I believe I need someone from my membership now to test it out. We're going to talk about that today. I think once you join, you can get all the things that happened before. So even if you join now, you can still see all the things that happened previously, or if you join 2 months from now, you'll see everything. And so with that information, I'm actually going to try to start upgrading and updating some of my membership things. So anyway, I'm sorry to go all over the place on that, but that's why I'm kind of rushing around today because I do have that scheduled. Usually it's the first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. and then you can catch the replay again as a member. If you're interested in that, I would love it if you would check it out. It would be really cool. It's actually been a really fun process so far, and we have a nice little group. Anyway, this video is all about THREDUP updates. Again, it's my third one, so we're going to do the summary of the stats, some sales and payouts, which is going to kind of lead into THREDUP BOLOs and NOLOs. I think that will be good. And kind of like a new segment, which I think would be nice, is THREDUP thoughts. So it's kind of like everything I'm tracking throughout the time in between updates, because right now I'm just doing them monthly. That may change in the future. Right now I feel like monthly is okay. And so I'm just kind of tracking like, oh, I'm going through the reclaim process. Oh, I have this to talk about. Like as I'm experiencing things, as I think of things, I want to share them with you because we're all at different points within our THREDUP journey. And so that means different things to different people. I do also have a quick update. I'll lead with this. Usually I save the good stuff till the end, but I'm going to lead with this today. I did get paid for that Michael Kors $428, $468 sale. I shared it on the last update. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, go check out last month's because that was my biggest flip ever. And I did get paid on it. And I was like, as soon as that money was in my account, I was like, woo, so excited. So I did get paid out on that, thank the Lord. So that was really very amazing. I haven't had anything yet that comes close to it, but I do have a couple pending sales that are kind of good, so we'll see. Also up at the front, I do want to give you a quick commercial for those that have not seen these before. This is all of a result of taking a THREDUP course, how to be successful on THREDUP. It's from Chriselle. She's on Instagram. Her info is linked down below. Actually, the link to her course is down below. I have a discount code for you. You get $40 off if you use my code Rebecca the Reseller. And really every time I talk about it, I can't say enough good things. I really wouldn't have had this avenue or this platform for my business, which has really kind of reshaped my reselling business, if it weren't for her and her course. It was so informative, so detailed, that really gave you actionable steps of exactly what she's doing. Therefore, you can do exactly what she's doing and do it for yourself. And instead of just using THREDUP as a way to like send in some items and maybe get some money for it, and you usually get junk money because they're setting the prices, she's teaching you how to proactively manage your THREDUP account, what you're sending in, how it's being listed, how you're, dealing with it, what the process is, all of these things to where it's literally just as a viable option for me right now as a platform as Poshmark is. So if you've come to me for Poshmark content and you watch all of that, that's great. I'm still doing that, but this is now becoming another big player for me, and it's been amazing. So I encourage you to take that course because I share with you my information about THREDUP, but I don't reiterate hers out of respect for her and the great course she put together. So if you are at all curious, everything that I learned so that you can put all those details into place, go ahead and check out the link down below and take her course. Okay. all of that shenanigans is out of the order. So now, last couple of times I did like this little summary tab where I kind of put in all the information, and I did that myself. Like I inputted everything. And I got to tell you guys, like with Gio's, now, you know, it's summertime of course, but you know, I'm not sure if Gio's going back to school. Like I am completely overwhelmed with stuff to where any area that I can shave off even a couple of minutes of time of what I'm doing, I'm gonna take it. So things are maybe a little bit more rugged than they usually are, but I'm just gonna go through my stats here. This is the website, this is THREDUP, this is my account, and I'm just gonna go through it here instead of making a pretty graphic. I hope you don't mind. I just literally this morning I was working on it at 4 a.m. and I'm like, why am I making this graphic? Like I can just talk from the website. So I'm gonna go through the same information. It's the same stuff. This is where I pulled it from last time. So big jump in total earn. This is amazing. $1,691.74 so far total earned. Now remember, I have mentioned like 100 and something was in my account from previous, like before I took the course, before I was really doing serious with THREDUP. So really I made about 1,500 or something. 224 items sold. Again, that does include some of the prior ones that sold. But for the most part, it's now post-course taking THREDUP seriously. Big jump again. I have 573 items that are selling right now. So currently listed, available for sale, which is great. So this inventory on THREDUP is now going to be approaching, probably this week will approach the same level as my Poshmark inventory, which is very interesting, seeing myself build up a big inventory again. Because I used to have over 2,000 items listed, and that was on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. And now I've got almost about 1,500 items between the two, but they're separate inventories, right? Because half of it's half of it's here with me for Poshmark. So 573 items. I would imagine I'll probably bump up a couple hundred this coming week, and then I will basically have equally sized inventories, but separate on Poshmark and eBay. So we'll see how that is going. I have 30 total kits, which again is a big jump from last time. Right now I only have $1.47 in available earnings because a couple of days ago on the 5th, that's when I usually transfer money out. I can tell you that that transfer out was well over $700, mostly because of that one $400 sale. And then obviously about 300 was other random sales. So a big jump again from prior payouts. And so now I can start to see the snowball effect as sales are starting to no longer be pending, but now the return window is passed and I'm starting to get paid out on them, plus the unavailable, you know, goodie box sales from THREDUP themselves that get immediate payout. Those are filtering in as well. So the snowball effect of your inventory growing, the sales catching up is really starting to show me what is a reality here for me on THREDUP. So it's exciting. So that's why I only have $1.47 right now. So $35,017.17 in potential earnings. So that's if everything sold as is, how it's priced immediately without dropping prices, without any coupon codes, all of that. So, I mean, you got to take that with a grain of salt. I've got 19 kits that are listed for sale that are selling. I've got, just to give you the breakdown, I've got 8 kits that have been received that are not processed yet, though I think 2 are processing right now. Oh, it doesn't show really on here, but on the app it was showing me that 2 I think are processing and should be done the next couple days. I have 5 that are, you know, from before, so those are past kits. 2 kits are on the way. 5 kits are ordered, but they're actually not. It's 1 Luxe label that I have here that I just kind of don't know what to do with. Like, am I going to send it in or not? And then 4 are on their way. My husband just dropped them off for me at Walgreens. Walgreens is a FedEx location for me, and so you can get your packages there. I already got the text message that said that they have been received, which is great. And that kind of just shaves off a little bit of time in it getting to THREDUP because it's going directly to FedEx rather than going from USPS to FedEx. So 5 kits technically are, you know, outstanding, not yet received. So those are the general stats of things. Now, before I go into the next section, if you are not subscribed to my channel, now's a great time to go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And for those that are subscribed, thank you so much for coming back time after time. I do appreciate it. Now, pending sales, solds, and reclaims. I just wanted to go over this briefly. I don't have a graphic for it because I actually had to go through the selling kits and by hand tally everything. And I'll tell you why. I was tracking basically everything in my spreadsheet. And what I've mentioned in the last video is that I'm really kind of trying to figure out what needs to be tracked, what doesn't need to be tracked. Because again, I'm pressed for time and I don't want to just do needless things. And so I think I had some redundancies in my spreadsheet because in the beginning I just wasn't sure. So I was just tracking basically everything. Now I've kind of swung the pendulum and I'm not tracking as much at all and seeing what do I miss. And this week I can tell you, just for the purpose of doing the video, not necessarily just for my THREDUP tracking as a business, but for doing the video, it was really hard because I had to go through by hand and be like, how many items sold? How many items are pending? And like open up each and every single kit, which like they don't make easy. This website is really terrible as far as everything being in kit form. You can't get any totals, like it's a whole hot mess. So everything is done by hand unless you have your own system that you're tracking it with in a spreadsheet. So like I said, I really want to make like the perfect spreadsheet and then perhaps share that in the future with you guys. But right now I'm still going through a lot of things for the first time, trying to figure it out myself. So I'm being as diligent as I can. But like I said, I was tracking everything. Now I'm going to track less, see what I miss, and then hopefully find my happy medium and go forward with that for a little bit. So I have 65 sales that are pending at this point. So they're in various stages of being pending. It could be that they just got ordered and haven't shipped yet. They could have been shipped but not delivered yet. They could have been delivered but the return window hasn't passed, or they just haven't gotten paid out yet and the return window has passed. So there's a variety of levels in which an item can be pending, but I have 65 of them. So that's great. And obviously they're all different, dollar values of sales. We'll talk about some of those soon. And I have 84 items that have sold, done, finished. And now I'm into reclaim territory, which we'll talk about in THREDUP Thoughts, which is the new segment I'm adding to the video. So I just want to let you know I have 25 items that have at this point been reclaimed. So just so you know, reclaimed is when you have an item, it's been accepted by THREDUP, it's been listed by THREDUP for either the 60 or 90 day period, and that period of selling has passed and it is now available for reclaim. And so you can say, I would like to reclaim that item and bring it back to you, and they will ship it back to you for a fee. Or you can say, I don't want it back, you can have it, and then they do whatever they want to with it. Probably stick it in a THREDUP rescue box or keep it listed or whatever. So I have 25 items that I did say, yes, I want to reclaim, which was basically all the ones that were available to me. And now they're on their way back to me, and I'll explain what I did with that. So that's the reclaim. That's what that means. So, okay. The BOLOs and the NOLOs and the sales and payouts. Let me see what I have here. Okay. I do have some photos that I pulled up so that way I could show you, because I like how it looks on the app better. So I did screenshots from my app. Before we go through these NOLOs and BOLOs, now is a great time to give this video a thumbs up. I would love it. Please go ahead and do that now if you can. Thank you so much. It lets YouTube know that other resellers may enjoy this content, which I would love. So Nike Active Skort. I had this listed on Poshmark for quite some time. Did not sell. It was listed and sold, and I got a payout of $11.40. And okay, some of these are still pending, some of these aren't. So this I did not get paid out on yet, but the payout would be $11.40 provided there is no return. I'm not going to say that on every single one, but that's just a general disclaimer. It's just too much to track otherwise. So I will say I've sold now a handful of Nike items for between $9 to $11. They're nothing too crazy, just basic workout stuff, but $9 to $11 profit is not too bad. My average cost again is usually somewhere between $2 and $3. But like I said, this was already listed on Poshmark and it didn't sell. So to get $11, on it now is fine. And like I said, there have been several items now that I've had that have sold from Nike. So Nike is on my BOLO list for THREDUP. I'm going the wrong way. BCBG Max Azria dressy shorts. And I love this one because one, it's a $68 payout. Hello. And two, because I learned about the keyword dressy shorts from THREDUP. They labeled and keyworded a few of my listings as dressy shorts, and that's not anything I had ever included in my listings. And I talk about it in my keywords video. If you haven't seen that, you need to check that out. I've gotten such great feedback from that video. I go over several keywords that I have added to listings that have really helped. It's called Keywords That Sell. And then in making that video, I shared a product that I have in my Etsy store, which is basically a keyword list that you can purchase, which is 400 plus other keywords that I have in my arsenal and tool belt. And so I made those available for purchase. If you're someone that's new and needs some keyword inspiration, or someone that just really has trouble with keywords and wants to look at something and say, yes, this applies, no, this doesn't, yes, this does, and use it like a trigger or a checklist, that is what it was intended for me and how I use it. And I think it's really good. And a lot of people have bought it and they've all given me great feedback on it. So anyway, so this is again another proof of concept that this term dressy shorts is a thing and gets items sold. So I'm going to get $68 on this, provided everything goes well. I've heard that BCBG Max Azria goes for great prices on THREDUP, and this is now my first proof of that. Whereas I did not even list these on Poshmark. I sent them straight to THREDUP knowing that that might be a bolo. And so far it is. This is MSSP casual dress. I forget what it stands for. It's one of those, like maybe it's from like Steinmart or Dillard's or like one of those types of things. And I think it was new with tags. I don't even remember. It was listed on Poshmark. And when I put it in my Poshmark closet, I'm like, nobody's even going to want this. And it was one of those things that came to me in a, in a delivery in a wholesale pack that I purchased. And so it was like, I did not pick it myself. But it is pretty and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just one of those things where it's like, I just don't feel like this is going to do well on Poshmark, and it didn't. So here we are, but it did sell very quickly of being listed on Poshmark, THREDUP, and it sold for this magical price that I've been talking about, which is if it's like a $60 retail value, the 20% off of that somewhere in there gets you $47.99 as a listing price on THREDUP. And then the payout percentage is 28% and $13.92. And now I've had several items be selling at that price point, whether it's THREDUP buying them or a customer. So I feel like that's kind of like a magic number, and has worked really well. Maison Jewels. So I'm pretty sure that this came in my B&G trading box, and there were just a couple of items. Most of them are in my Poshmark store. Closet. I have sold a few on Poshmark, but this one I sent to THREDUP wanting to see how it would do, because I honestly wasn't excited about having this brand in my Poshmark closet. It's just kind of like a house type brand, and I have had it previously and it hadn't done well. So I sent it to THREDUP, and bing bang boom, it sold for $12. Now, I think that my buy cost on the box from B&G Trading was higher than this. So this is a situation where you're happy to recoup money and it's not a total loss. That's kind of one of those situations. It sold for the price point of $49.99. I'm getting $12. And so it's like, I never bought it basically. And so it's not a win and it's not a fail. It's just kind of a wash. And then with liquidation, or anytime you purchase items that you're not picking yourself one-off, you're just happy to break even, and that is no harm, no foul, and then you can hope for profit on the other items. So I'm happy knowing that this is a viable brand for this, way. Like I could order more liquidation, and if I get those brands, I can send them to THREDUP. And this I also mentioned because this isn't the only house brand that has done well. I've sold a bunch of Style & Co., which is like a Macy's house brand. I've sold a bunch of JM Collection, which is a Macy's house brand. There's some other Nordstrom house brands that have sold. So do keep in mind that those house brands aren't necessarily like a terrible thing if you do get them in some sort of reseller pack or whatever. Just think about where's the best place to bring them or send them. Next up is a Banana Republic pullover sweater, and this, again, that magic price of $47.99, I'm getting $11.14 on this, and I've had several Banana Republic tops sell at this point, and a couple of dresses. So I feel like Banana Republic is kind of going to be my THREDUP thing. Like I'm going to send all my Banana Republic there, see what happens, and if for some reason it doesn't work out there, then I may list it on Poshmark or take it to a buy-sell trade store. I think what I'm trying to do now is really diversify this is definitely a THREDUP brand. This is definitely a Poshmark brand. This is the one where I'll try it over here and then see what happens and really have a system. I mean, it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of nuance, but it's going to be how I operate my business going forward. I think like some things are going here, some things are going there. I'm maximizing my profit by knowing what's the best platform. I mean, it could change, of course, over time, but I really feel like this is a good, like I'm starting to feel very confident about what I want to send where. J. Jill, hello, big bolo for THREDUP. Like so many J. Jill pieces have been selling. I've been getting this delivered to me in my wholesale packs and it's been going really well. I have sold some J. Jill on Poshmark, but I really do feel like most of it's going to THREDUP and it's selling quickly. A lot of it is being, you see this is unavailable. A lot of it is being pulled by THREDUP for their whatever, goodie boxes and such. And so $18.15 is my payout, quick flip, bing, bang, boom. You know, again, my average cost is between $2 and $3. I am cool with that, like so cool with that. This is a Nolo, guys, Nolo for THREDUP. I am not sending any Torrid. I've seen people say that they've had luck with Torrid. I've sent in a few pieces now. Nothing has happened with them. This one sold and I only am making $6 on it and I am upset. So, because I feel like on Poshmark, I definitely could have gotten more. On Poshmark, depending on the piece, you can get a good penny for Torrid. And I said, I was originally slating Torrid specifically for Poshmark. And I was like, well, that means I got to do the work. Let me see if I send it to THREDUP, I don't know, whatever. And now I'm like, no, now I'm upset. Because yes, I like doubled, you know, doubled, almost tripled my money or whatever for doing no work. But I know that I could have quadrupled, quintupled, whatever thing if I had it on Poshmark. So yes, I think Torrid is going to stay on Poshmark for me. Next up is Ann Taylor casual dress. Hello, payout of $83. Woohoo! So don't remember if this was new. I wish it said it here, but it doesn't. I don't know all the particulars, but I will tell you this. I heard that Ann Taylor does really well on THREDUP, so I sent all my Ann Taylor, like all of it. And like nothing was happening. And then slowly I started to get some pulls for goodie boxes. Slowly this came in. I've got another one to show you. So I'm feeling like as people maybe are going back to work and they're needing things or whatever, the Ann Taylor may do better. I'm going to keep my eye on it though, because I did do okay with Ann Taylor on Poshmark. So this is more of just, can I get more for it on THREDUP, or can I get the same amount without having to do the work on THREDUP? So we'll see. But I was very pleased with this. I probably wouldn't have gotten this type of price on Poshmark for it. So I am very pleased with this particular sale. Eileen Fisher. I think I posted this on Instagram. I'm right now splitting my Eileen Fisher between Poshmark and THREDUP based on size at this point. I may do some more nuanced variables like tops are doing well, but bottoms aren't, or vice versa. But right now, anything that's large or higher in size is going on Poshmark for a pretty quick flip. Not as much money as this sale, which we'll talk about, but a quick flip. And I am okay with that because that's good cash flow. Again, with THREDUP, it's such a long lag time that we're dealing with that it's kind of hard. But for the higher price, I'm getting a $75 payout on this. It's worth it. I don't know what size these are. Again, you can't see that here, and this is just a screenshot, but anything that's not large, so basically medium, and lower is going to THREDUP. And I'm going to see how that split up goes. I may change my mind on it in the future. I don't know yet, but I have a lot of Eileen Fisher listed on THREDUP. This was the first one that has sold. It sold for a nice pretty penny. I'd be happy to just keep sending it in and seeing what happens. But again, I also like the quicker flip for Eileen Fisher for me on Poshmark. It's been going well. So I'm kind of torn on this and think I'll be splitting it for a while and then reevaluating more later. Vince Camuto is definitely a bolo for me right now for THREDUP. It is something that is a no-lo for me on Poshmark. I really just don't want to have any of it in my store anymore. It just doesn't sell, or it doesn't sell for a lot unless perhaps it's plus size. But for right now, all of it can go to THREDUP for me. I don't want to see it in my Poshmark closet. I'm going to send it all to THREDUP, $19.50. I am cool with that. It's just a top. It's great. That is great. Here's the other one. Okay, Ann Taylor skirt, silk skirt. I'm pretty sure this was new with tags. This is the one that's been sitting in my Poshmark closet forever. I think I got it because it was like new with tags, 100% silk. It was like 100 and whatever, a lot of money. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And like holidays or whatever, like I just really thought it would do okay, and it just didn't. And it had gotten on ThreadUp, and like pretty immediately it sold, and the payout was $54. So yes, please. Because again, if you treat your items like assets and you say, well, it didn't sell over here, don't just get rid of it. Find another avenue, another platform, another way to offload that item, because you invested in that asset. You invested your time in finding it and photographing it and storing it. You invested supplies. You invested money in buying it. So you should get a return for every item you possibly can. Or at least if you can't get a profitable return, get some of your money back. I do donate a lot of things back to Goodwill, but I try to exhaust all of my sales generating options first. And that's Gio sleeping. He had his hand in his pants. It was just so cute. I had to take a picture. He's going to kill me for that when he gets older. Let's nobody tell him. Anyway, so those are the Bolos and the Nolos on ThreadUp that I've figured out so far. That's kind of what I'm starting to do, is saying like, these are definitely ThreadUp brands. These are definitely Poshmark brands. This is somewhere that I'm still kind of evaluating. And that really helps me in my sorting process. When I get items in, I know exactly what to do with them. And either I'm putting them on my rack to list here at home for Poshmark, or I'm putting them in a bin for the day that I handle all my ThreadUp stuff, which right now is Monday. And I'm starting to work on notes for a schedule video of like how I handle everything. So be on the lookout, because that is coming. So I'd like to go into a segment now, which is called ThreadUp Thoughts. So this is new, and I'm just going to kind of track, Pinterest. I'm just going to kind of track different things throughout the month, random thoughts regarding ThreadUp, process, tips, tricks, and share them with you at this point. So reclaims. I've reclaimed 25 items that have exhausted their 60-day window from my first one, because my first one was like at the end of March into April. Now we're in July. It's just starting to kind of happen. So this is the first time I'm going through the process. I reclaimed 25 items. I wasn't comfortable with it. I could do a video about it in the future if you want. So let me know in the comments below if you think that you want me to show you what the reclaim process looks like and how that actually works. But I didn't want to do it my first one because I didn't know what I was doing. So now I feel a little bit more comfortable. It was kind of cumbersome. I definitely will do some things differently next time. So again, let me know if that's something you're interested in. But what I did, just the long and short of it, is they said they were reclaimable. That's how you know. It just gets that gray bar across and it says reclaimable. And I started adding them to my cart. It shows up in your cart as 0, like you don't pay anything, but you will have to pay shipping for those to get back. I did 25 of them. And the problem is that when different items have different, like, if they're in a cart, you get extra days added and all this stuff. So they don't just all happen on one day. And it can happen for over a period of time. So I think what I'll do next time is wait. You have 14 days to reclaim it. I think I'm going to wait closer to the end of the 14-day period and then start adding them into the cart, because the cart only lasts for a certain amount of time. There's like a little countdown that says you need to get this out of your cart or buy it in this amount of time. And that is shorter than the 14-day window, which was really messing me up. And then I couldn't figure it out otherwise. So I got a little bit verklempt with that. But I did reclaim 25 items. I think they're going to ship today. And what I did was I bundled them. Like the ThreadUp has a bundle option where you can make several orders and then bundle them all together. And as long as you hit $79 over all of your bundles, then you get free shipping. So I thought, well, this is great. This is what I'm going to do. So I had, and this leads me into my next thing, which is points. I have access to points. I've been racking up points like crazy. Every time a clean out kit goes in, you get 500 points. Plus every time you place an order, you get points and all this other stuff. So I had 6,000 points. 6,000 points, and I was so excited because I'm a person that loves points. And so I had 6,000 points. I'm like, okay, I can go in and place all these orders. Now, I knew from the last time I had used points that you cannot use multiple points on an order. So 1,000 points is a $10 reward. So if you buy a $20 item, you only get $10 off. You can't use 2 $10 rewards on that one purchase. It doesn't work like that. You get only one. So you want to find, if you want it to be free, which I wanted it to be free, I found a $10 item. And so what I did was I would go through and do a lot of searching and just load up on my favorites a bunch of $10 items. And so I went, so they were all ready by the time I was doing my, reclaim and my bundle process. And so I found a $10 item, cashed in my points, got the item for free, added it to my bundle. Then I went back and found another $10 item, cashed in my points, got it for free, added it to my bundle. And I did that 7 times. No, 8 times, and that would cover the $79. And as I was doing that, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna miss it by like 1,000 points. But then 2 of my clean out kits hit, and so that ended up bringing me, I guess, maybe up to 7,000 points or whatever, however it worked out. But I was able to get the whole thing for free. It was awesome. I haven't done any couponing in a long time. It really got my gears going on that because I used to love couponing. And so I got the entire order for free. So I got all of my reclaims. Plus I ordered like 8 items. The items that I ordered were free, and the shipping was free, and my reclaims were free. Free, free, free. I loved it. Oh my God, it was so exciting. Can you tell that I used to get really excited going to the grocery store and getting free stuff? So yes, so that's what I would recommend, is save up all your points for when you have reclaims. That way you can buy some things, one reward at a time for an item about $10 or whatever. That way it's totally free. Then you add in your reclaims, and so you get the whole thing shipping for free, as long as the items that you're, quote, paying for with your points add up to the $79. And you have 1 week to complete that whole process. So if you know like some reclaims are going to come on this day and some reclaims are going to come on that day, you can kind of time it where your bundle collecting period, 7-day period, encompasses all of that, so you get the most bang for your buck. You can get as many things coming to you in that one bundle package shipped for free. Now, I realize that now I've blown all my points, and it may take me a long time to get that many up because I'm still sending them in, but that was a lot. Now I'm going to start having reclaims more frequently, so my points probably won't rack up as frequently. But I did look, because I don't necessarily need to buy things. I was just buying things to use the points. You can use your points. It's 350 points to get free shipping. So I figured if I'm ever short where I can't, and I don't want to actually pay for items, and I don't really need any items, I don't have to go the free items route. I can just cash in some of my points and get the free shipping on only my reclaims and not purchase items, just get reclaims and then use the shipping reward on that. So I know that was a long drawn out thing. I'm so sorry, but I think there are a lot of people that are really just getting started with this like me, but I might be a few months ahead of you. And so I'm kind of sharing with you what I'm finding out as I'm doing it, and what, I always have to find like the most efficient possible way. And if you know a better way, tell me, because I want to know what it is. But like, I have to find the most efficient way. I have to find the most bang for my buck. Like, I just don't know any other way to be. So that's what I've been working on and driving myself crazy with at 4 a.m. Now, the tracking, I kind of mentioned it before. I just want to say it again. I am working on a good way to track everything in a spreadsheet. So if you are kind of like getting overwhelmed with all this, because I am too, like there's a lot to track. There's a lot of moving parts. They're all in kits. Like you can't really find anything. And so it is nice to have a spreadsheet where you could go and know exactly what's going on with your items. But then you have to manually update it and enter all of it. So it is coming. I'm trying to figure it out, seeing what's most important. Also, obviously for tax time, inventory purposes, like all these things. So be patient with me. I don't have any answers yet. I'm hoping once Gio, finger crossed, goes back to school, I'll have, a week for a few hours a day where I can say like, all right, nothing is happening, but I'm focusing on this spreadsheet and just like clear my schedule and just doing that, because right now I can't afford to do it. There's too many other things happening, but hopefully when I get that kid free time, it will work. The other thing I just wanted to mention in ThreadUp Thoughts is a little bit about process, and I may do a separate video on this. Right now, I'm very interested in tracking my time and kind of auditing my time and knowing where am I spending my time, because sometimes what you think you're doing isn't actually what you're doing. Like I think I'm spending X amount of time doing something, but actually it takes me double that amount of time. So I'm trying to pay attention to that with ThreadUp, and honestly, this week I completely forgot to track it. So maybe next week I will be better about tracking my time, because most of my ThreadUp work happens on a Monday for the most part. And I do a little bit in the morning before anybody wakes up. I do a little bit when I have some kid-free time and like Gio and my husband are playing in the pool. And then I ship everything off. And then throughout the week, I'm checking on things, and I might do my update video if it's that time of the month, but I'm not really actively doing any other ThreadUp business throughout the week. So what I want to do is track, and I'm going to share with you what I know right now that's just like anecdotal, but then I'll actually track the numbers next week, is how much time am I spending on the activities that I do on that Monday, and how many items does that give me, basically, and how much money am I kind of making on average off of those items, to compare it with Poshmark. Because what I'm wondering is, like, yes, I say I'm not doing any work, but I am kind of. There's definitely pluses to ThreadUp, but there's definitely minuses too. And so I am super excited and very gung-ho about it, because right now it's all going positively. But I also do want to be mindful of what is the time that I'm putting in. Is it worth it? Am I making the right kind of money for that time versus Poshmark and having a little bit more control over things because you physically have them, you can send out offers, stuff like that. And is it exactly the same? Is one better and one worse, and I get to choose what's more important to me? So I'm going to try to analyze all of that. It might take me a while, but it's something that I'm interested in and working on, and wanted to share that with you. So what I have so far, again, this is anecdotal, is that I get a lot of items in. I'm ordering from swap.com. I'm ordering from other wholesale places. I'm ordering wherever I'm ordering from. Everything just kind of shows up, and I just kind of like leave it in the garage for quarantine until I'm ready to deal with it. And basically I end up sorting it. I showed a post of this on Instagram the other day. Basically, I sort everything into like large tote bins, like not the ones that you kind of normally keep on your shelf with your items in it, like the clear ones, but like the big colored moving ones, Christmas decoration ones or whatever. Big bins, and I sort. ThreadUp pile, Poshmark pile, maybe I want to take it to the buy sell trade store, or it needs to be cleaned or steamed or something needs to be done with it. And so those are kind of generally my piles right now. And the ThreadUp pile, once it's sorted, it basically just sits in the corner of my reselling room until I'm ready to process my ThreadUp boxes. So the sorting process for ThreadUp takes about 30 minutes once a week. And then it takes me about an hour to prep 3 boxes. And what that means is taking the items from the bin, listing them in the packing list, where I'm actually typing them into a spreadsheet for my packing list, folding them and putting them into the box, weighing the box several times to get it as close as I can to 30 pounds, ordering the label, printing out the label. You know, I code it with like an internal box number. So like I know this crazy code that they put on the box is really my box number 32 or whatever. And so that whole, and I print it out just to have like a paper copy that I can check off. So that process takes about an hour for 3 boxes, give or take. So that's general. And then here's where I'm trying to get fancy. So I was spending about an hour on those same 3 boxes looking up the retail price, because some of them aren't with the tags on it. And so one of the recommendations when you send in a packing list is to have the retail price on there. And to me, I'm not doing it off the top of my head. I want to see what ThreadUp says the retail price is, because what's the point of me saying it's $100 retail price and then ThreadUp says, no, our artificial intelligence says it's a retail price of whatever. And so it doesn't matter what I say unless I want to go fight the battle every single time and email or chat customer support with ThreadUp and tell them to change the price. Now, that is some of the recommendations that are given in the course of some of the ways that you can really make sure that you're getting what you deserve out of your items. But the difference is that Chriselle is doing a lot of luxe, super high-end, super duper items. I was getting some luxe items, but I'm not specifically sourcing luxe items anymore because you don't need to. Now we're paying for boxes. So I'm not really going after that high-end route. I was, but now I'm kind of going with, let's do the normal stuff, and then I can reevaluate later, depending on what they do with the Luxe program. And so these last few boxes that I sent, I did not look up the retail prices. So that saved me right there an hour of time looking up every single item and getting, generally speaking, what the ThreadUp would say the retail value is, so that it's on the packing list. And what I want to see is, if it's not on that packing list, does it make any difference in the way ThreadUp is pricing the retail price. Because remember, ThreadUp gives the retail price, and then you get to change it off of that 20% less at the max. So if ThreadUp says it's a $100 item, but you say it's a $500 item, you need to get them to change it to $500, because then you can't price it accordingly. But if they say it's an $80 item and you say it's a $100 item, am I really going to go and ask ThreadUp to change it for $20? No, I'm not going to bother. So I want to see if me not putting those retail prices in there affects how they price the item initially, which would in turn affect how I could change the price. If it does, I will go back to adding the retail prices, because then it's worth it. But if not, if they're just going to price it whatever anyway, then I'm not going to bother and save an hour of my time every week. And then it really sweetens the pot. But I was spending about an hour per 3 boxes doing that. So that's kind of where that is. I do think I can get faster with everything, and I think I can kind of track things a little bit better where I'm not, again, doing these redundancies in my spreadsheet, to where I could cut down on my weekly ThreadUp allotment of time. But I also prefer to track information as I get it than wait till the last minute and realize I didn't track the right stuff and then have to start over from scratch and like go back. So it's kind of neither here nor there, but I did want to let you know this is something I'm thinking about, something I'm working on. If you have any answers to the things that I'm bringing up, let me know in the comments below, or if you don't want to share it in the comments, DM me on Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me for me to actually like see it and pay attention in private. Because it's something I'm really trying to pay attention to. I want to make sure that the time I'm spending on ThreadUp makes sense, and I don't want to put in any more work on something that is supposed to be no work. And if it's not no work, then I want to get clear with myself on what the work involved is, how long does it take, and what is my yield for that in comparison to what I do for Poshmark, because that I've been doing way longer. I have more of a handle on it, and I know that I could ramp it up or scale it back given my supply, given my time, or whatever. So I just need to get as familiar with ThreadUp and the labor involved as possible. And then also I think in the future, because I've been without my VA for several months now, and I'm definitely starting to get a little tired of doing some of the things that she used to do that now nobody's doing, that now I have to do because I no longer have her. And so I really want to be more mindful of like, okay, I had her for a couple things and I really expanded. I had her do almost everything for me. What is the basic minimum of stuff that I could have a VA do? And I think that a VA could potentially help with ThreadUp tasks. I think there are a lot of tasks that a VA could help with in ThreadUp. So that might be something that I explore and share with you. So if you're interested in that, how a VA can help you manage your ThreadUp business, let me know. That's everything I have. I know it was a lot. I do appreciate you hanging with me. Let me know what questions you have, what you want to know about, what you want to see in these ThreadUp videos, because I'm flexible. Like, this is still a new thing for me. I'm trying to get into a format and a flow with what I want to share and how I can share it. And I want it to be as valuable for you as it is for me in putting it together, because putting a video together does help me get my thoughts together, and that helps me run my business as well as share with you. But I also don't want it to take, 3 hours to put together one video. It's just time I don't have these days. In the future, it'll be different, but that's neither here nor there. So I hope everyone has a great week. I want to know what's going on with your ThreadUp business. Let me know what questions you have. Maybe we'll do a ThreadUp Q&A coming up here soon. We'll see. But I wish you all well, and I look forward to hearing everything you have to say down in the comments below. Like this video on the way out, again, if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the channel so we can hang out again. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!